Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues. With this particular video, I'll be sharing some thoughts on two recent big-time news stories. One is very speculative and rumorville only. That is the first I'll be talking about, which has to do with the future of Indiana Jones. And the other is official casting announcements to do with the Man of Steel sequel. And quite frankly, I'm getting so fed up and tired of seeing site after site after site calling it Batman versus Superman. I really don't want to get locked into that title. Even Superman versus Batman, flipping them. I really hope we're not going to be stuck with that as the title. I'm still hoping for a world's finest kind of situation, or maybe Trinity, depending on how involved Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is in the story and everything like that. But before we get into the Man of Steel thing, the Indiana Jones stuff, basically, I forget what website it was, came out recently and says that sources have indicated to them that Indy 5 is something in the planning stages. They want to be able to do a fifth Indiana Jones film with Harrison Ford reprising his role, and it may be, the last step for that character by that actor, that kind of thing. If they can get the scripting done and everything, get it moving, greenlit and everything like that, within a certain time frame, that'll be good to go. That's the way they'll go. But if it cannot be started and work cannot be begun on this project by a certain time frame, the rumor is that they are potentially looking at Bradley Cooper as a replacement Indiana Jones, as a younger man, of course. And I have mixed feelings about that. On the one hand, I'm really excited by the idea of Bradley Cooper taking on that role, but I don't like the idea of just passing over Harrison Ford entirely. I think he could potentially have one more Indiana Jones film in him. As far as the action and stuff goes, it all goes, let me take you back a little while ago. Before Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was ever made, there was a point where I remember an interview with Harrison Ford where he was asked, would he reprise his role as Indiana Jones? And he said at the time, he didn't think it was very likely that he would ever see this come to any culmination where that would be, something to actually happen. But his idea was, maybe Indiana Jones is an older man, he's retired, he's living in Alaska, sort of in isolation, that kind of thing, and in his retirement years, maybe he's talking to somebody and talking about these great past adventures and that kind of thing. And so, in a sense, he was thinking in terms of he would bookend whatever this movie is. At the start, we'd meet Harrison Ford, the elder Indiana Jones, who would relate this story, and then a younger actor would play the younger Indiana Jones. I think at the time they were still sort of thinking, River Phoenix, being that he did play the younger Indiana Jones in, of course, The Last Crusade. And so I really loved that idea. I remember being really excited by that. Although, of course, yes, there is sort of the gut reaction that says, well, you can't ever have somebody who isn't Harrison Ford playing this character. But, you can say that with a lot of characters, and look at Superman. How many actors have played that character? And they've all won over, viewers on some level. Some people could take or leave certain ones, but for the most part, there are fans out there who look at Dean Cain and say he was a good Superman. There are people who say Brandon Routh was a good Superman. Christopher Reeve, of course, being one of the best, and even Henry Cavill. There are people who say, yeah, he is Superman. And I'm somebody who loves aspects of all of them. So there is a level of, if you are objective, you can swallow another actor in that role. And Bradley Cooper is one that, for me, is very exciting, a potential, sort of casting look for that character, because he has a look reminiscent to Harrison Ford to a degree, working off movies like The A-Team. He can do the action, he can do the charm and the wit and everything like that, and I think he really has the suavity, if you will, to play that kind of a role. I think he'd look good in that costume, and that would be really awesome. Especially, let me again reiterate, I don't want to see another Indiana Jones film where Harrison Ford is not involved at all. Because I know, of course, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a widely regarded disaster. A lot of people hate it. I don't hate it. I actually quite enjoyed it, and, I do recognize that certain things were issues with it. Not quite sure if I'm happy with where they went toward the end of it and everything. I kind of feel like the concept and what they fitted the concept into, didn't quite mesh. But in any case, I still enjoyed the film. But I feel like, it would be really great to have Harrison Ford give us a swan song as an older Indiana Jones, maybe relating a fantastical tale of his youth where we have someone like Bradley Cooper coming in, and, that kind of segues and sets up potential future movies where Bradley Cooper takes over wholeheartedly. I think you need a passing of the torch for it to be something anyone could swallow. Now, again, getting back to the Man of Steel casting announcements, these are official casting announcements. Added to the film are Holly Hunter, Callan Mulver from the 300 sequel, I believe, and Tao Okamoto from The Wolverine. And all three of these pretty much excite me, even though I don't really have any idea who Callan Mulver is. I haven't seen the 300 films as yet. And so I'm kind of, I'll have to wait and see what exactly happens. But, Holly Hunter is the one that excites me the most because she is just an A-list celebrity. Her acting is just absolutely phenomenal, She inhabits characters and makes it believable. She can do comedy. She can do, of course, she was Elastigirl, the voice of Elastigirl in The Incredibles, something else we heard recently we're finally getting a sequel to. And, just talk about top of the heap, top-notch talent. With Tao Okamoto, again, with Callan Mulver, I really don't know his work, so I'll have to see what happens. But with Tao Okamoto, I did just finally recently get to see The Wolverine, and I was impressed with her work. That's so far the only thing I've seen her in, so I can't really say whether or not this is for better or for worse. Hopefully for the better. A lot of people can take or leave a lot of the casting going into this film, and one thing I'm really just tired of hearing is people talking about, wow, this movie is so busy, it's got so many people in it, it's going to have so much going on. And the thing is, we don't have that much to go on as far as official casting goes. We know Henry Cavill's reprising and returning, Amy Adams. We have Ben Affleck taking over the role of Batman. We have Diane Lane reprising her role, Martha Kent. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. Lawrence Fishburne returns. Jesse Eisenberg and Jeremy Irons are really the only new additions to that. So we're talking Cavill, Adams, Affleck, Lane, Gadot, Fishburne, Eisenberg, Irons, and now 3 other people, and that's a lot of people. It all depends on what sort of significance each of their roles are going to be taking, but we don't know. It could very well be that, maybe Tao Okamoto is the current girlfriend of Bruce Wayne, and she's in 3 scenes. That doesn't mean the whole movie is going to be about each and every one of these actors' characters, whatever those amount to be. And in a nutshell, very, very optimistically excited for these casting choices. I cannot wait to see what they do with them. And I think with the speculation and the rumor of Bradley Cooper potentially taking over the role of Indiana Jones from Harrison Ford, I think as long as you have the passing of the torch, I really love that idea. I love the idea of Cooper playing a younger Indy. And so, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below on all of this stuff. Please realize I won't be able to respond because I'm a mobile-only user with all things online, and Google Plus took a big crap over everything for people like me with a yesteryear mobile device. Otherwise, I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.